What's up, YouTube? What's up, Discord? Free fam. Trump 2024. 45 and 47. 4 more years. We'll see what's up. Today I saw a headline that Dow moved the most in one day that it has moved in over 100 years. It went sky high today. Spy was right there with it. For the last 2 days in the Discord, 2 straight days in a row, I told people in my Discord I was going to do a straddle/strangle on the Spy. That means you don't know which way it's going, but you are sure it is going to make a big move. So you would say, like, I don't know what Spy finished today at. I believe 591, okay? So let's just call it 590. That means, like, imagine tomorrow was election day, right? You would go to 591 and then 589. That's like a straddle. You're just playing right at the money in both directions. And then a strangle, you'd be like 598 and 572 or whatever, an $8 difference, $8, $8, $9, $10 difference from the current, which would represent a just absolutely massive move, which is exactly what we had today, an absolutely massive move. And then you go, okay, they don't even out either. One is going to be down 95+%, which it was. The puts today, they opened at like 10 cents. That's all I got for mine from yesterday. They cost like $3.57, and they opened at 10 cents. They lost almost every penny of value, which is fine. You're expecting that. And then the call was up like 200 something percent. So 200 something percent minus 98%, right? Let's just call it 100. Let's just call it a full loss, is plus 100%. So you would double your money. It'd be like going to the casino, betting red or black, and hitting, right? And you're getting double your money. But it's better than that, because if you were to go to the casino and you put $100 on red and 100 on black, you'd only get 100. And if it hit double green or zero, which is also green, you'd lose both. You'd just lose and lose. But here, you're expecting one to really skyrocket and the other side to fall. So, for example, if you were to do that on Tesla, because you knew, and I wasn't really thinking about that, but I probably should have leaned in that direction. If you put that same money on Tesla, the puts today were down 99, 100%. The call side was up 700%, 7x. Meaning, if you had, say, $1,000 on the calls and $1,000 on the puts, you lost $1,000 on the one put, and you wound up with $7,000 on the calls. You made $6,000. You walked away with $6,000 profit. Okay? 7 minus 1, 6. That's how simple it is some days. Where you don't even need to know which way it's going. It's a bank. It's a profit. We had some people in the Discord profit. When I was live, we saw Amazon just going like parabolic. Coinbase was going crazy. Interestingly enough, MSTR sold all the way off. But I mean, I don't know how it's not like drastically falling, because all it is endless dilution on shareholders to pay the executives. It's odd. I don't know why you would invest there. It's going to be a 6-tuple leveraged Bitcoin company, meaning 6x leveraged. All debt is levered into Bitcoin. 6x of the value of the company. Right now, it's already 3. Like, they're essentially valuing the coins at like 180K, and they're only 75K. It doesn't make sense. And you could just buy Bitcoin ETFs, which are also trash, or just Bitcoin itself. Like, that's what you should be buying if you want to be exposed to Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin. You don't buy these random other things. It doesn't make any sense. So, but Coinbase owns Bitcoin as well, and they were just it was parabolic, like it was crazy. But we did play a reversal on Amazon, which alerted that out in the Discord. In the live stream, I alerted that, and it paid 56% when I alerted. It actually went more. It went even more because I did a Fibonacci retracement. And if I'm speaking Spanish to you or a language you don't know, Chinese, rewatch the live stream or join the Discord, and you'll know what I'm talking about. There was 3 white knights on the 15, drew a Fibonacci retracement when that happened, and it hit the 33.6 or 36.2 or whatever the hell the second one is. It hit it exactly to a T, and it always hits the 23% one. So I don't know many of you, like if you going into work today and they were like, hey, here's a 56% raise on your yearly salary, or we've got a bonus for you today, every dollar you were supposed to make this year, 56% more. Like, it doesn't happen. These are huge gains that are being made in my Discord right now, every day, every week. I'm not saying everyone always wins every day, every week. I'm saying these are the opportunities available to people. People making $55,000 in one day off of 6. That happened last week for one of our members. And that's happened numerous times. Really just incredible opportunities. I mentioned last night we were doing like play-by-play essentially while the numbers were rolling in, and I did a post yesterday at something like 11:45 at night that the Republicans won the House. They won the House. And I instantly said, look for defense stocks to be going down today and marijuana stocks, because marijuana stocks are traditionally, the Republicans are traditionally against that. They're religious and anti-drugs. Doesn't matter what I feel about it or what you feel about it, what anybody feels about it. That's just traditionally how they view them. Today, Canopy Growth Corp, CGC, was down over 22% when I last checked. I went to the mountains. I've been out relaxing after an early trading and all that. 22% down on the day, guys. The puts were only something like 200%. It wasn't even that great. But I knew that's happening last night, and it was in the Discord. So if you were a member of my Discord, you were privy to that, and you could have turned being a member into massive profits. You know, if you shorted $1,000 of it, you made $2,000, $2,500. If you shorted $5,000 of it, you made back $10,000 to $12,500. It depends where you sold. Like it was a massive drop, and it was a rapid drop. It wasn't like it took all day to do it, because that's how they vote. Trump is anti-war. You're not going to need all these defense stocks. He wants to end the war in Ukraine like day one when he gets into office. He was already talking to Zelensky 2 weeks ago. The president of the United States, Joe Biden, was not. Donald J. Trump was. That should really tell you guys all you need to know. Trump's been, Biden's been just gone for 2 months. What's been happening? Trump has already been meeting with a lot of people. I borderline feel like we already knew that this was happening, essentially. If you really know how to read between the lines and pay attention, okay? What else? So, I mean, SPY, the contracts that I told people, look, I am doing a strangle on the SPY. I really should have said straddle, but the strangle paid 5 times more than what I did. The straddle was 230%, and the strangle was like 800. So if I actually would have went further out, I would have had a monumental day today. I had a good day today. It was an okay day. I didn't really put too much money on it. It is what it is. I'm more often than not right now, I'm helping others make way more than me personally. You know, and that's just how it is. But I've been at this a long time. I've been doing stocks and trading for nearly 2 decades. Okay, since like my first job at TELUS in Canada, major telecommunications, where we were given stock options. Like you could for every $5. Sorry, it was either for every $5 you put in, they gave you 2, or for every $3 they gave you 2. Either way, you put in just and it was like straight off your paycheck. It was like the sickest way to save money. I had a bunch of stocks. They went up in value, sold them. It was great. And it got me really interested. But I mean, I was trading penny stocks out of the newspaper in junior high, just as like a hobby. As like, I don't know, we had like one marketing class, finance class, like as youth. And then, I think that's cops. Shit. So, and I was speeding a little bit. But anyways, hopefully not. Okay, maybe not. Just like, yeah, so I was really interested in penny stocks. So basically my whole life I've been interested in it, but these last 4 years, 3-4 years have been insane. Everything has gone like really bad economically and financially speaking, yet the market is it's been brand new high after brand new high after. I'm really wondering when the bubble will just literally pop and we just see a boo, like it is going to be absolute financial meltdown. We still had another bank collapsing just like 1 or 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's like the shit almost doesn't even make headlines. It's getting unreal out there. But I feel like my Discord is one of the best places to be if you are in the markets investing. We aren't, I would say me personally, I'm definitely more cautious and lean bearish on a lot of things. Like Meta going from 88 to over 600. I'm not interested in a long position on Meta there. I mean, that's absurd. Some people might, but maybe in other companies, I might be interested in a bit of a long position, right? Disney hits 80, I'm going long on that. Intel hits like 18, 20, and I can see how much the government wants to step in there and not let the free market handle it, or how they're paired with NVIDIA chips. Yeah, maybe go long on that. SMCI, I warned about that. That's another one we've been talking about and watching. Warned about a possible delisting on November 16th. Oh, that's a Saturday. The monthly options are on the 15th. You can't even bet on that strike. You have to bet on the 22nd. That is interesting one. They tried to pump it and it dumped off again, and then it had its earnings, which you can't even believe no matter what they say. I don't care if they said, I think they said the earnings were bad, but who cares what they said? Because whatever they said, it can't be trusted regardless. The books are cooked. If you go back in my YouTube to February, I posted it. Super Micro Scam Inc. They've already been investigated, guys, 4 years ago for cooking the books. Not only are the books cooked, they're well done. They're overcooked. They are charred. Those books are charred. They lost their auditor. That auditor doesn't leave companies ever. There's no point. It's like that's a free paycheck. That's a free gig right there. If anything, you're competitive in the market, trying to win companies and become their auditor. So you just collect free money. They left because it was so bad, and they know they don't want to be anywhere near that shit. It's toxic. What is going to happen with SMCI, guys, which is now $20, and it was $120 when I did my video. It was either like 104 or 114. I can't remember exactly. 104 to 114 per share, and I warned in that video that this was going to be suspended or investigated or both. Talk about Nostradamus. The stock is down like 85%, guys. And other people, oh, it's the third largest customer of NVIDIA. Yeah, Keyword, customer, not partner, not supplier, customer. It's a Ponzi, using new investor capital to pretend to be something they're not. It's a scam. I warned about it, and I was 1,000,000% right on that. 100% is all you need to be, and I was 1,000,000, okay? Pat on the back for myself and anybody who follows this channel and decided to listen there. That guy's a scammer. I'm still seeing like paid pumper articles. It's like, oh, they just need to oust the CEO and things will turn around. No, they won't turn around. It's a scam from the bottom to the top. There's no, it's a toxic asset. Get the fuck away from that company. Get away. Stay away from that. I don't care if it has some bouncing action or whatever before it inevitably gets delisted. But I'm telling you this, November 16 comes and those books aren't prepared or clean. What I'm going to expect will happen there is they are going to tell the New York Stock Exchange, look, we couldn't get it done in time. Can we have an extension? They don't deserve one, but I'm sure they pay a fine, $5 million probably, around there, which won't matter because they just sell stock, use everyday working people's money and pay for this kind of shit. Get an extension. And at which point the books will they'll never be clean. Because someone's going to have to come in and figure it all out, and they're not going to be able to. Because that's how bad it is. And that's why they lost their auditors. Because it's that bad. Okay? So they're going to likely, and this is on the 16th of November, which is a Saturday. That doesn't happen, they're delisted Monday. So the last time I checked, you could only buy $14 puts. That was like last week. I don't know. If you can get lower, if you want, like a low risk, the $14 puts were only like 75 cents. I think today they were like $1. So they were up like 40% or something. Okay? It's $75 each. That means, okay? That means and it's at 21, okay? But if you get like a 14 strike, that means if they do delist it at 14, okay, you get to sell it at 14 to whoever wrote that option. 14 delisted, buy it back for like 1 cent a share or 5 cents a share or whatever. You make $14 a share basically on your, and it costs you whatever the strike costs. So if it's $1, it costs you $1. So 13 minus 1 is 14 minus $1 is $13 a share profit. So each contract represents a value of a potential profit or value of $1,300 per contract. Okay, you can take it a step further. Okay, you can do a put. This guy's like speeding. It's a stop sign, so I don't know why he's speeding through a stop sign. I guess he's trying to get killed. You can write in the money puts if you're really bearish, and you could do a $100 one. It'd be pointless because it's going to cost you like $80. I'm just saying you could do whatever you want. I figured choose one of the lowest strikes you can find for the lowest money. If you could find like a $10 one, a 10 cent one, like, because they might have updated it. Maybe it's as low as $5 now. Who knows? I gotta have to see when I get home. Obviously, I'm driving. Go for it, right? Because money, it's free money regardless, and you just get to determine how much risk you want to spend. If you want to do $50 with the potential to make $5 a share, so that's $4.50 profit per. So that's $450 per contract. You do 2 of those contracts, that's $900. You know what I mean? You can kind of wiggle it however you want with risking how much you want versus going higher. It's something I would keep on my radar, if not just enter as sort of a YOLO. If the books are fixed, I can't guarantee that it goes up, but I would imagine some of the investors come back. There's at a certain point right now, because there's going to be class actions going on, a lot of companies won't even be able to legally touch it anyways, because they're probably not going to be allowed to if it's under multiple class actions in this, that, and the other, because that would make it a bankruptcy risk. Like, you don't know what kind of payouts they might have to pay out. Who knows? And fines, no less. So I would not go long on it at all myself, even though that, it's 20 and it was 120. I think that's just a trap. I think that's a trap. And even today's surge in the market, and that's all I'll say on SMCI, it's probably getting delisted or at least suspended. Today's run, if this is the biggest one-day gain in over 100 years, a century, is that an outsized move that needs to cool? Most likely. What usually happens when a move that big happens, it's usually a second move the next day, and then a substantial retracement. So I would actually think that we'll have green markets again tomorrow, and then for Friday, of all days, you will have that retracement and profit taking as well. So if you've watched this far, because we're 21 minutes in, that's my thoughts on it. Can I predict the future? Not really. But we know exactly how to play today in the Discord. I put a screenshot in the Discord of me mentioning it no less than 3 times, virtually in a row, so that people got the hint. And I'm almost positive I mentioned it more than 3 times. But it's just a screenshot I took on my phone. I did a little search, strangle or straddle. I definitely mentioned more than 3 times, guys. Like, my Discord pays for itself if you're paying attention. You don't need to play every day. You don't need to play every hour of every day. When you play, make it count. $19.99 or $69.99 for premium. It literally pays for itself. And that last class I had on the weekend, that kind of Q&A session, I was teaching a guy for 4 hours Fibonacci retracements and how the stock market is just a computer program designed to operate under specific parameters. And that's exactly what I showed in the free live stream today on Amazon in real time as it hit 206 and change. In real time, I drew the fib, and in real time, over the next 45 minutes, we saw it touch exact the first stop and the second stop of the Fibonacci retracement. The first one was like 56% return. The second one, I don't remember. We were talking about a bunch of things. It's been a busy day. But I would imagine close to 75% returns live. And this is what I do. And I try to help and teach people. And then you stay in the room, and it's a community, unlike Stock Twits or Weeble Chats. It's not a pumper hyper community, and it's not a full bearish community. It's like people helping people, alerting people to like last week, Big B, a member, alerted people to Root, and that's what he made the $55,000 on. He said this is a low floater, he gave a whole bunch of reasons, a big blurb why it was probably popping on earnings, and it popped immensely. There was a bio company, VXRT or VRTX or something. Someone made thousands of dollars when I said that's a sell the news bio situation. They had results like they're coming out with an Ozempic type thing, but when keyword coming out, it's a trial. So there's no marketable product there. It's not to market, and to market could take anywhere from 3 to 10 years. So I said, and it had gone up like 3 or 4 or 500% year to date. And then after the earnings, it popped huge. The minute the markets opened, this thing was just nosediving. It sold off like $30 a share, guys. Like, it was insane. And I reiterated it over and over and over in the Discord, because you have people and they're like permanently bullish on something and they don't want to hear the other side of the story. But it's not even like I'm right, you're right. It's I've been in that situation before, especially with the CV19 medications. When I saw what happened, Bayrat Pharmaceuticals had a better alternative than Moderna. It was legalized in Canada. I went all in. What happened? It cratered. It's happened to me. And then I started paying attention to the bios and what happens when these sort of good news situations come. They pump into the news and then they completely crash when the news actually comes. And then they often dilute to get this product out and get it to market and things like that. So it's actually, that was a predictable one. That was in the Discord. I'd be very weary of buying into the hype of a Trump presidency beyond this point. I would be skeptical and weary because of the size and significance of the moves over just the last 2 weeks. Don't forget, like today was one of the biggest moves, but over the last 2 weeks, we've had a significant run up market-wide, okay? Paired with an absolutely monumental increase in the national debt of the United States and the government spending. Something like a $6 trillion boost just 2 weeks ago out of thin air. They just did like some massive bill and massive spending approval 2 weeks out of an election. That feels extremely criminal to me. But they've left Trump with a really dire situation there. So I'm hoping the team around him, Elon, Vivek, Tulsi Gabbard, I'm hoping some of the people, JD, I'm hoping they're able to help right the ship and steer it, away from disaster. I'm not that confident that just because you have Trump as a president that anything really changes, that it's even changeable at this point. That's how bad it is. No one seems to be talking about that aspect of things there. They're focused on the battle and not the war, I think. But I mean, it's at if nothing else, it's a glimmer of hope for the U.S. because 4 years of Kamala was going to be disastrous for not only the U.S. but for everyone else. And the proof is in the numbers. Not to mention that like the sheer volume of donor money that she got versus him, and then he still wins, is just proof of people seeing through the lies and the deception. It's just nuts. But we're only in day one of this crazy market scenario. So again, I think tomorrow we do see more green. Because it's just, these things tend when it's like when stop loss happens, right? We saw it on end phase. I talked about it today as well. Actually, I'm like trying to say that video's done and now I'm talking for another 6 to 10 minutes. But we saw it on end phase and First Solar. So since he's big oil, alternative energy went way down. The market's open and they collapsed. And why did they do that? Stop losses were triggering. And then at 180, I remember seeing on First Solar, it hit 180. The second it hit like 179.90, like 10 cents below, it cratered all the way to 176 because someone had stop losses around at 180 as well, right? And it was already down substantially. We're talking like $25 a share, okay? So when that happens, those stop losses trigger and they sell at market, whatever the market is, because that's how it's programmed and designed to do. And it's designed to help get you out of that knife fall situation. In case it goes down 50%, you only lose 22%. You don't lose 50%, okay? It recovered after that, so, I feel bad for the people that were too lazy to actively watch it and manage it themselves, but it's the same on the flip side with calls, okay? Or with when the market goes up. When the market goes up substantially, like today, we're talking the best day in 100 years, you know that any short on today got obliterated, and any shorts left were getting margin called, given until the end of day to buy. That's why you saw the end of day spike. I wasn't around. I was in the mountains, but when I logged in, I saw the SPY was like 591 instead of what it was earlier in the morning, 588, 587, 586, because they were given until the end of day to close the position, the short position, to pay what they owe. They don't need to close it the second their margin call. Their 2 margin calls go out in a day. The morning margin call closed by noon, and then anyone after that, anyone left or anyone who's like in a new position, but then gets then another margin call goes out for the end of the day. And then if you have really good standing with whoever, they might say, okay, you in the morning, you have until the end of day. But that's actually pretty rare for the average person, because they know by the end of the day could be substantially worse. And then they're having to like come after you for money. so that they don't allow that. But that is why you saw that spike at the end of the day. Shorts were getting blown out. Now, if shorts were getting blown out and it was spiking, and people know that that's the biggest gain in 100 years, more shorts would probably enter at the very end of the day. Buy pressure is gonna make those shorts have to pay, and any shorts that did cover but held their position short, because just because you cover what you owe in a short doesn't mean you actually close the short. You're just covering the leverage that you had, the risk. You're covering that, and you can still maintain a short and cover the leverage. That tomorrow's going to be another opportunity to squeeze them just a bit harder and a bit more and get the final, kind of last little drops out of those people. So I am very confident it's green tomorrow, and then going into Friday, it should be red. So I'll probably be playing some downside on. See, the tough thing is the gapping. So again, I think tomorrow's green. At the end of the day, it's not as easy or simple to say buy puts right at close, so that Friday you're just wake up to green, wake up to profit, because they have the tendency to run these things in the pre-market. Then when you have actual live market open, there is no buy volume and they collapse and sell pressure comes in. So it's a risk on situation. It's a very risky. Let's say you have $1,000 to put on the table. You could do like 500 Thursday before close and have the other 500 waiting for market open in case they do pump it in the pre-market before the drop. So you dollar cost average. I really don't think we get 3 straight days of green here after we're literally all-time high after. So the NASDAQ has had something like 30 all-time highs this year. Like one after another. So I don't see it. 32-minute video. I hope you made it to the end of the video. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know. Appreciate you guys. Give it a like, a thumbs up, share it with other people. Hopefully I've said some things here that, maybe you learned something new. Maybe you realized what you may have been missing in here and join the Discord. The link will be below. Don't join the YouTube version. Just click the link. It'll take you to Stripe and then you sign up through that, and it takes you to the Discord, and then you're in the Discord, and you should see all the rooms. And that's how we keep out bots and fraudulent accounts and things like that. We pay gate it, but it's a very minor. We're talking like 50-60 cents a day, guys. It's not much. You easily literally make that in like 1 minute on one call out. So hope to see some new faces in there. Hope to see some old faces return. We already had one person come back today, and another person came back 3 days ago, like Thursday last week. We often get people, they go, and maybe they go for summer or whatever, and then they come back because they know the place is legit. They know the Discord's legit. They know the info is good, and I try to be unbiased in the sense that I'm posting info that's relevant. I'm not posting my own personal I'm not trying to sway you with my own feelings or beliefs. I can give you the pros and cons of a situation or the pros and cons of a stock. Just like I did with SMCI. I said it's pretty much probably going to go to like 0 pennies if they get a extension. Maybe you see some price action onto the upside, but you generally just can't believe the books. Something like that, right? Keep an eye on Bitcoin. You know the Bitcoin pumpers who are part of that big Ponzi. They want 100K. The amount of volume on Bitcoin today was astronomical. It was both buying and selling. It hit 75 and it went immediately to 73, like nobody's business. But I think that's the number they've been shooting for. They want to see 6 digits. They're trying to make it so that FOMO legitimizes Bitcoin. It's a Ponzi, guys. The only thing attracting people to Bitcoin is greed. Oh, I can make money. It'll go up. It's greed, and it's the idea. It's groupthink. It's groupthink. There's no self-thinking there at all. The whole premise of Bitcoin, guys, was to solve a problem for the everyday common people. And the only thing that they've used to legitimize it in the last 24 months was Wall Street wanted it, and Wall Street got it, and governments decided to pass some legislation on it. Literally, the things that they didn't want for it are what they're trying to use to legitimize it at this point. So it's a lost cause at this point in my books. It's not something I believe in whatsoever. Blockchain makes sense. Bitcoin is a scam. All those coins are a scam. Same as NFTs. It's a Ponzi. And I've seen Ponzi's before. So, but just because it's a Ponzi, I guess if it's on the New York Stock Exchange, you can still make money up and down on it in any given day. So Coinbase is one to watch, and MSTR. I'd stay away from the mining companies like Mara, Riot, Bito, etc. I don't see any value in those whatsoever. The Bitcoins have already been mined, and it's virtually impossible to mine anymore. You can literally do your own research and diligence on that, but I've said it hundreds and thousands of times in my videos and in my Discord and explained it. But there's already like almost 20 million Bitcoins mined already, and there's only like 2 million left. But you can only mine like 800 a year. So something stupid. So it's mined in my, like, it's gonna take 5,000 years or whatever the hell to get the rest. Who gives a shit? So why would you buy a miner? That'd be like buying an empty diamond mine because they told you, hey, there's like 10 diamonds left in the mine. Do you want to pay full price for our diamond mine? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I would be like, well, what's the price of 10 diamonds? I'll pay you for one, because I still have to go and do the work and find them too. It's not like it's free. And all the equipment you got to pay for and shit. But this is what happens when I do the two things. When I drive and when I do a video about stocks, you get a 40-minute video. But enjoy them while you can. I do plan on pursuing my flight school here. I had a bunch of money locked up in a non-cashable GIC that's coming to maturity here right around my B-day. And the thing about flight school is it takes money to do it because you are literally buying flights. Sometimes as many as 2 or 3 times in one day so that you can fly the plane. So you really need a lot of capital to pursue that and do that. So when that comes to majority here in a few weeks, we're going to see what's happening. I'm not sure if I'm starting it right away, but you're going to see a regression you already have seen a regression in content from me as far as YouTube goes, but YouTube is like the gold mine. When I come here and I post on YouTube, you're going to make money on the video. It's not even arrogance or it's confidence or boisterousness. It's just, that's like literal fact. Just go and look at my previous videos. And I've left nuggets and tidbits in here today for you. So, Discord, same thing. I'm going to be in there as much as possible, but it's going to be way less than it has been. But that the point of the group has always been to foster this community of traders who are looking out for one another, making plays, call-outs, alerts. We have so many more people in there now. Like, I'm seeing a big surge in people that are using and trusting in that 1 hour super trend. Many more people are posting about that and finding success with that. And I'm seeing a surge in people talking about RSIs and reversal plays, okay? And being profitable there. These are all the positive moves and things and changes that I've wanted to see for some time now. We do need more people in here, and we need it to grow. 200 is great. You don't want it to be 400,000 voices with 400,000 opinions, and who knows what's being said, and little moderation. But I think we could use more than we have. It would help, and it would just give a little bit more eyes on the market. So hopefully we can get some more people in. For members that are already existing, for members that already exist, I have turned on the referrals program. I think it's been on a while, actually. I thought I turned it off, but it is definitely on now. And you do get 7% of anyone you refer that signs up, you get 7% back. So, off of yours. So you can go, you can't go infinite, but you can have your own service paid for eventually. And we have some people that have 3 referrals and things like that. So that one dude's getting 21% off every month of his membership. So that's something that I thought I would add in that I don't think many other people have. Subscriptions. You don't see that. Meet Kevin doesn't have any shit like that, or any of these other guys. They don't really have that. They just want the money to go straight in their pockets. I'm literally trying to just foster a solid community here that people can rely on for accurate, trustable information. So we will see if we can grow this community a bit more. And, let's see what happens before January 20th or whatever, when he actually takes office. It's going to be a wild ride. Again, keep an eye on the marijuana stocks. I don't think there's going to be much there. Obviously, oil. I mean, it's already kind of at all-time highs, but, maybe it goes even higher. But alternative energy, it is going to be bleeding a bit. So there will be profits to be made there. And then, obviously, the defense stocks. And I have a list in the Discord, in the resources section, of a bunch of defense stocks and clusters, different clusters. And even Chinese stocks. We'll see. They were down a little bit today, but then they came out and said, we want to work with Trump. We don't want to be combative. And I know, as a businessman, he's open to that. So, but he's open to it if it benefits America. But benefiting America would benefit China, because not having all your shit tariffed to oblivion and being able to make really good sales and get your products to market in another country where people would be maybe become loyal to your product and loyal to your brand, like a Samsung, let's say, or whatever, a Huawei, or their BYD cars. I imagine BYD in America. I don't know how Elon would feel about that, but it would really open things up for China and the competition in the markets, and making BYDs in America. That could be good. You get, maybe in Detroit, you get it, instead of a shut down Ford factory or GM or whatever the hell it was, maybe now they get a new BYD factory. I don't know. Who knows, right? It could be really good. I believe in trying to foster some new partnerships and relationships, knowing that Trump is now in for 4 years. Hate it or like it, he's the man. He's the guy. And it's time to sit down and work with him. You had 4 years to try to get him out. It didn't work. And then you had 4 years to bash him, and you didn't succeed. America has voted. America has put him in place. America wants him to lead them by majority, by popular vote. And the House and the Senate, everything, it's all Republican. So let's see what they can do, and let's see how that affects markets. And, hopefully some of you guys in my Discord, and maybe new people that join, hopefully one day you can be free from it all.